Have full quorum.
Yeah.
Before you have the minutes for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion carries. Mr. Johnson, any changes to the agenda?
Not to my knowledge, Mr. Chairman, I believe it's ready for your approval.
All right, thank you, sir. We'll move forward. No presentations. We'll move right into the debate agenda.
Thank you, sir. The first one we have for is a public hearing. This is a redo of a public hearing we previously held. However, we realized that notification may not have reached everyone that was involved, so we wanted to redo it to make sure everybody had their opportunity to speak. This is for a establishment of streetlight districts for Highland Lakes, River Island, Somerset, River Oaks, Tillery Park 1B, and Crawford Creek, Section 10. This time, we'd love to open it up and hear any public comment.
Were there any comments before?
There were none, but we want to make sure that everybody had their opportunity to speak if they chose to do so.
Was this on this committee last time, or is this was Gary's?
It was on
Okay.
Gary's, and it actually went to the board, and we asked the full board to postpone the decision so that we could do this step one more time.
Do it right, okay.
All right,
We can close the public hearing. We'll note that
Close.
this was heard.
all right, sir. Thank you.
Sir, all right, the next few, I'm gonna ask Mr. Prather to come up and speak on this, we have several contracts for construction projects that we have in the works.
Morning, how y'all doing?
Morning. Good. You?
We got a couple of items up for your consideration this morning. The first item is for the special inspections and material testing at the market, the farmer's market project. Got a few proposals on this, and as you know, this project's been awarded to Duckworth Development, so we're going to be starting construction here in the next month or two. So this contract with WSP is for the materials testing and special inspections on that project in the amount of $9,754, and staff recommends approval.
Mr. Prather, do we expect a lot of soils issues on that property like we had for the PAC?
Yes, ma'am. There's a rock outcropping directly under the project, so we're going to have to blast or dig, trench rock project. Yes.
That was accounted for in the.
Yes, we allotted allowances on it, on what we best guessed
As we
how much
expected,
rock.
okay.
Yep.
But the creek that runs underneath the ground does not touch this.
No, and these are not deep. We're not going to be digging an orchestra pit or anything like that. So shallow footings.
Move to consent.
Second.
Motion carries. Next item.
The second item is for geotechnical services contract with WSP for the Building A project in the amount of $8,325. This is for boring around the site. Staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
Motion carries. Next item, sir.
My next item is for the design contract of Building A with Goodwin Mills Kaywood. This is obviously the later part of the design development through construction documents and CA for the Building A project. We do have a do not exceed cost of $1,510,000. Staff recommends approval.
What percent of the total budget is it?
It's around 5.25 or 5.5. So the reason I did the do not exceed, because we have a couple additional services that we can use as a la carte.
Move
We
to
did
consent.
negotiate this with Goodwin Mills. They came in a little bit higher, so we were able to negotiate that down.
Move to consent.
You're in the building business.
I mean, it's fair. It's a big chunk, and they're a good company. We'll get our money's worth.
We've been impressed.
We've been very pleased with the process so far. We actually did some pre-development work with them to come up with some conceptual ideas and design that will now be rolled into this design. And we have been extremely impressed with that process. And I think we will end up with a good product as a result.
Second.
Motion carries, sir. Next item.
My last item is for the Fire Rescue 2 project. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I spoke out of line. This next item is for the Building A contract with WSP to do an asbestos and pre-demolition report of the building we're in right now. So as you know, this part of the Building A project, this will be torn down. So this report will give us some findings of how we deal with tearing this building down in that project.
You expect to find a good bit of asbestos in here? Don't know.
Comment.
All right. Let's ask him.
We suspect there may be some due to the age of the building, but we
Age.
won't know until we,
All right.
Staff recommends approval, the contract with WSP for $6,100.
Move to consent.
Second.
Motion carries. Next item.
My last item is for the Fire Rescue Station 2 replacement project. As you know, this project's on Gibbs Road. This is a geotech contract with WSP, again, for $7,074. This project is nearing a 95% stage of design, so we're going to be hopefully bidding that project in March, April. And this will give us some information to hopefully downsize our footings for that project. Staff recommends approval.
We're getting a good bit on the plate with WSP. We getting frequent flyer miles with them?
Actually, it's a professional services, so for our procurement policy, we're not required, but I have reached out to multiple firms on some of these. So WSP we used to be Wood Environmental. They're great to work with, responsive.
Getting a good value.
Yes, ma'am.
Consent.
Second.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir. There's one more item on here, item 7, A7,
Yes, sir, I'll take that one.
engineered.
So, recently we had about 200 to 300 foot of gravity sewer that was damaged due to a private utility company installing fiber lines on Old Trail Road. Unfortunately, based on the age of the neighborhood and location of power poles and phone lines and fiber lines, we can't just dig and replace. So this is a contract with Blue Water Engineering, the amount of $5,150 to do a design for us so we can go out there and reroute that sewer line and get it put back together. It is functioning as it is right now, but it's leaking. It's not the way it needs to be. Repair it as quick as we can.
Are they paying for it?
They pay for it. They are paying for the damages.
The people who wrecked it are paying the damage? Okay, good. Move to consent.
Second.
Motion carries. Thank you. We'll move into planning services reports.
Yes, sir. Attached is the December 22 Planning Department monthly measurement report. It's for your information only. Any questions you might have?
Questions?
Not at this time.
All right, sir.
And then also attached for information only is the November 22 Plan Review Workload Monthly Measurement Report. Something like that. Answer any questions you have.
No
Questions?
questions.
Just at a high level, do you see the volume ticking down?
Um,
I see that.
It kind of ebbs and flows, some months it seems like it's getting a little less, but then we'll get, a run of, an extra couple, 3 or 4. I think in general, it's kind of ticking down a little bit, but not a drop off that, is cataclysmic.
All right. Any more questions? Move on to development services reports.
All right, the first report we have is the Development Services Monthly Report, and a copy of that is in your pack for information only, no actions required. You can see where we ended up 2022 for the year was down just slightly, was not as much as it was last year, so which is well. I mean, last year we saw a drop of about 8%. This year it was only 6%. So, but if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those.
Questions?
And for commercial, we went,
Yeah, commercial, last year, 2021, was a stellar year. That was our best year we've had for commercial. So it makes those numbers look a little bit drastic, but for the most part, like I
my
said,
math right, is that 40%
right at 40%.
reduction?
Right. Like I said, and then last year, it was up right at 20% last year from the previous year. So
You know what the previous year was off the top? If you don't worry about it.
not right off the top of my head, no, sir.
I want to say it was 60, no, it was less.
100, wasn't it?
Pardon?
Right at 100, wasn't it? Commercial
I
last?
want to say it was 98 or 100.
98, 99. I remember
Yep,
being right at
right in
100.
there.
This, and I use these numbers as well as the sales tax revenue, just to keep a pulse of.
Right,
high level.
exactly.
Thank you.
Next report.
All right, next report we have is our financial report, and a copy of that information is in your package for your information only. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay,
All right, and the last one we have is the temporary event alcohol permits, and a copy of that is in your package also for information only.
any questions? Okay, thank you, sir. We have any comments for commissioners or the public? We have nothing for executive session, so we'll adjourn at 8:56. Thank you.